The bedroom door creaked open just after midnight, and Parker's heart stopped when he saw the empty bed, sheets rumpled but cold. For the third night in a row, his 8-year-old son, Timmy, had vanished without a trace. No note, no sign of struggle. Only the faint glow of the streetlight filtering through the curtains like a mocking beacon. Panic surged through Parker as he grabbed his coat and slipped out into the chilly New York night, determined to follow the invisible trail that led to whatever secret his boy was hiding. Parker had always prided himself on being a vigilant father, especially after the divorce from Sarah 3 years ago. She had left when she discovered his hidden emails to Mark, a colleague who'd become more than a friend during late-night work sessions. The custody battle had been brutal, with Sarah's lawyers painting him as unstable, unfit because of his lifestyle choices. But Parker won full custody, vowing to shield Timmy from the world's judgments. Now, as he tailed the faint footsteps he imagined in the shadows of their Brooklyn neighborhood, doubt gnawed at him. Was this his fault? Had his secrets poisoned their home? He spotted Timmy 2 blocks away, sneaking into the alley behind the old community center. Parker's breath caught. His son was meeting someone. Hiding behind a dumpster, Parker watched as a tall figure emerged from the darkness, wrapping Timmy in a hug. The man's face was obscured, but the gesture was intimate, fatherly almost. Jealousy and fear twisted in Parker's gut. Who was this stranger stealing moments with his child? As they whispered, Parker strained to hear, catching fragments. "Your dad doesn't know?" Timmy shook his head, and the man handed him a small book. Parker's world tilted. This wasn't abduction, it was conspiracy. Back home, Parker confronted Timmy at dawn, but the boy clammed up, eyes wide with fear. "It's nothing, Dad. Just exploring." Parker didn't buy it. That night, he followed again, this time closer, his phone ready to call the cops. The man was there, same spot, and as Parker crept nearer, recognition hit like a freight train. It was Reverend Paul from their local church, the same church where Parker volunteered to blend in, to appear normal in a community that whispered about single dads. Paul, married with kids of his own, was the last person Parker expected to be involved in Midnight Rendezvous. The revelation fueled Parker's paranoia. Was Paul grooming Timmy? Or worse, using the boy to expose Parker's own hidden life? Parker's mind raced back to his youth in conservative upstate New York, where his parents disowned his uncle for coming out. He'd buried his attractions deep, marrying Sarah to fit the mold, only for it to crumble. Now, raising Timmy alone, he dated in secret, brief encounters that left him hollow. Mark had been different, passionate, understanding, but Parker ended it, terrified of losing his son. Over the next days, Parker's sleep evaporated. He installed a tracker app on Timmy's phone, guilt gnawing at him like acid. The app pinged the community center repeatedly. Confronting Paul at church seemed suicidal. The Reverend was a pillar, beloved. Instead, Parker dug online, uncovering nothing suspicious. But the meetings continued. One night, Parker overheard more. "He needs to know it's okay to love who he loves." Timmy nodded eagerly. Parker's blood ran cold. Were they talking about him? The tension built at home. Timmy grew distant, sketching rainbows and hearts in his notebook. Symbols Parker recognized all too well. Was his son questioning his own identity? At 8, the thought terrified Parker, not because he judged it, but because he knew the cruelty waiting in the world. He remembered high school bullies, the slurs that scarred him. Protecting Timmy meant shielding him from that pain, even if it meant suppressing his own truth. By week's end, Parker couldn't take it. He tailed them to a park bench, hiding in bushes. Paul read from the book, a children's story about 2 dads. Timmy listened raptly. "See? Families like that are normal." Parker's heart shattered. This wasn't malice. It was education. But why in secret? Bursting out, Parker yelled, "What the hell are you doing with my son?" Timmy's face paled. Paul stood calm. "Parker, we need to talk." The confrontation spilled into the open. Paul explained. Timmy had approached him after overhearing Parker on a phone call with a friend, piecing together his dad's secret. Scared of losing Parker like he lost his mom, Timmy sought advice from the only safe adult he knew. Paul, whose own brother was gay, had been counseling Timmy, providing books to understand. "He's trying to support you," Paul said. Parker reeled, shame flooding him. His secrecy had forced his son into shadows. But the relief was short-lived. Word spread in their tight-knit community. Whispers at school, stares at the grocery store. Sarah called, furious, threatening to reopen custody. Parker faced his first real choice: hide deeper or come out. The weight pressed, his love for Timmy clashing with fear of rejection. In the aftermath, Parker's world fractured like glass under pressure. He sat Timmy down that evening, the living room lit by a single lamp casting long shadows. "Why didn't you come to me?" Parker asked, voice cracking. Timmy fidgeted, tears welling. "I thought you'd be mad. Mom left because of, you know." The words stabbed Parker deeper than any court ruling. His son's innocence had been tainted by adult betrayals. Parker decided to pull Timmy from church activities, but Paul reached out privately. "Don't punish the boy for my involvement. He's confused, but he's got a big heart." Parker met Paul at a coffee shop, away from prying eyes. Over steaming mugs, Paul shared his story, his brother's suicide after family rejection. "I couldn't let Timmy suffer in silence." Parker confessed his fears. Losing custody, societal backlash in their suburban enclave where rainbow flags were rare. Paul urged openness, but Parker resisted. "It's not that simple. I'm his only parent now." Back home, the strain showed. Timmy withdrew, grades slipping, friends noticing his mood. Parker tried compensating with outings, baseball games, museum trips, but the unspoken hung heavy. One night, Parker's phone buzzed. A text from Mark, whom he hadn't spoken to in months. "Heard about the drama. You okay?" Parker's fingers hovered, temptation surging. Mark represented freedom, but at what cost? The next midnight, Timmy didn't sneak out. Parker had grounded him, but the boy confronted his dad. "Are you gay, Dad? Like the book?" Parker froze, the question a grenade. He could lie, preserve the facade, but Timmy's eyes pleaded for truth. "Yes, buddy, I am." Relief washed over Timmy's face, followed by a hug. But Parker's mind screamed warnings. This admission could unravel everything. Word spread faster than Parker anticipated. A neighbor, spotting the park scene, gossiped. At work, colleagues side-eyed him. His boss, a devout conservative, pulled him aside. Family issues affecting performance? Parker nodded vaguely, but inside rage built. Why should his love life dictate his worth? He confided in his sister, Elena, over the phone. She lived in California, progressive, but even she hesitated. "Mom and Dad won't understand. They're old school." The family pressure mounted when Parker's parents visited unannounced. Over dinner, Timmy blurted, "Dad likes boys." Silence descended like a storm cloud. His father, a retired cop, reddened. "What nonsense is this?" Parker intervened, downplaying, but the damage was done. Later, alone with his parents, accusations flew. "We raised you better. Think of the boy." His mother cried, "You'll confuse him." Parker defended, "I'm not confusing him. I'm being honest." They left early, vowing to pray for him. Isolated, Parker turned to Mark. They met at a discreet bar in Manhattan. Mark's presence was a balm, warm smiles, understanding nods. "You've been through hell," Mark said, hand brushing Parker's. For a moment, Parker forgot the chaos. But guilt crashed in. Was pursuing this worth risking Timmy? Mark pushed gently. "Hiding isn't living. Show him it's okay." The decision loomed as Sarah escalated. She filed for emergency custody, citing unstable environment. Court loomed again, lawyers dredging up Parker's past flings as evidence of irresponsibility. Timmy, caught in the crossfire, begged to stay. "I don't want to leave you, Dad." Parker's heart broke, but he fought, hiring a pro-LGBT attorney who argued acceptance over prejudice. Amid the legal storm, a betrayal struck. Paul, under church pressure, distanced himself, apologizing in a letter. I can't risk my position. Timmy felt abandoned, lashing out at Parker. You made this happen. The words echoed Parker's self-doubt. Had his choices doomed them? High school memories resurfaced, bullying that left scars. Parker vowed not to let Timmy endure that. He enrolled Timmy in therapy, joining sessions himself. The therapist, Dr. Lena, unpacked layers. Parker's internalized homophobia, Timmy's fear of loss. Healing starts with authenticity, she said. As court neared, Parker faced a crossroads. Come out publicly or settle quietly. Mark offered support, but Parker hesitated, fearing dependency. One night, alone, Parker wept, questioning every turn. The price of love seemed too high. Yet, glimmers emerged. Timmy drew a family portrait. Him, Parker, and a faceless friend. For when you're ready, he said. Parker hugged him, resolve hardening. He'd fight not just for custody, but for their right to be. Court day arrived like a thunderclap, the Manhattan family court buzzing with tension. Parker sat rigid in his suit, Timmy beside him, small hand clutching his. Sarah glared from across the room, her lawyer ready to pounce. The judge, an older woman with sharp eyes, called order. Parker's attorney opened strong. This is about a loving father, not outdated biases. Sarah's side struck first, presenting emails from Parker's past with Mark, twisted as evidence of neglect. Mr. Thompson prioritizes personal indulgences over his child. Witnesses testified, neighbors whispering about odd behavior. Parker seethed but held composure. When his turn came, he spoke from the heart. I love my son more than anything. My orientation doesn't change that. Timmy, allowed to speak, added tearfully, Dad's the best. Don't take him away. The judge adjourned for deliberation, leaving Parker in limbo. Outside, Mark waited, offering a hug. You were brave. For the first time, Parker didn't pull away publicly. But Sarah cornered him. This is your fault. You could have stayed in the closet. Her words ignited fury. And live a lie? Like we did. Post-hearing, community backlash intensified. Petitions circulated to protect children from alternative lifestyles. Parker's job hung by a thread. His boss suggested time off. Elena flew in, rallying support. Screw the haters. We're family. But their parents called, disinviting Parker from holidays. Until you sort this out. Timmy faced bullying at school. Kids taunting, your dad's a freak. He came home with a black eye, refusing to name the culprit. Parker's protective instincts roared. He met with the principal, demanding action, but got platitudes. That night, Timmy confessed, I started the fight, defending you. Pride mixed with horror in Parker. Seeking solace, Parker deepened his bond with Mark. Dates became regular, stolen moments in Central Park. Mark shared his coming-out story, rejection turned acceptance. It gets better, he promised. Parker introduced him to Timmy cautiously, over ice cream. Timmy warmed quickly. You're cool. But shadows lingered. Parker feared attachment. A twist came via Dr. Lena. Timmy exhibited early signs of questioning his own identity, perhaps influenced by Parker. It's normal, but nurture it carefully. Parker panicked. Was he the cause? Moral dilemmas swirled. Encourage exploration or shield from pain. Betrayal hit again when a friend leaked Parker's story to local media. Headlines screamed, Gay Dad's secret nights spark custody war. Protests formed outside their home. Signs reading traditional families first. Parker barricaded indoors, Timmy terrified. Mark stayed over, a rock in the storm. The judge ruled in Parker's favor, citing no evidence of harm. Relief washed over, but victory felt Pyrrhic. Sarah appealed, dragging it out. Parker's savings dwindled, stress manifesting in migraines. In therapy, breakthroughs occurred. Parker confronted his parents via video call. I need your support, not judgment. His father grumbled, but his mother softened. We love you, but it's hard. Progress inch by inch. Timmy's resilience shone. He joined a youth LGBT ally group, with Parker's blessing. I want to help others like us. Parker marveled at his son's strength, contrasting his own fears. As appeals loomed, Mark proposed moving in. Let's build a family. Parker hesitated, the ultimate trade-off. Accept love, risk more scrutiny? The decision weighed heavy. One evening, protesters egged their house. Cleaning up, Parker snapped, yelling back. Timmy calmed him. They're wrong, Dad. We're right. In that moment, Parker chose. He'd embrace his truth. Consequences be damned. With the appeal underway, Parker's life became a battlefield of choices. He accepted Mark's offer, the three forming a tentative unit. Mornings filled with laughter, Mark making pancakes, Timmy giggling. But nights brought doubts. Was this selfish? Exposing Timmy to more hate? Community divide deepened. Supporters emerged, LGBT groups offering aid, petitions in Parker's favor. A viral social media post from Elena amplified their story. My brother's a hero. Donations poured in for legal fees. But opponents struck back, doxing Parker, threats arriving via mail. At work, Parker was demoted subtly, restructuring. He considered quitting, but bills mounted. Mark, a graphic designer, freelanced more, easing the load. Their relationship blossomed amid chaos. Stolen kisses, deep talks. You're worth the fight, Mark whispered. Timmy thrived in his group, making friends who understood. But an incident shattered peace. A bully cornered him, spewing slurs. Timmy fought back, suspended. Parker stormed the school, accusing negligence. The principal relented, implementing anti-bullying programs. Moral conflicts peaked when Sarah offered a deal. Drop the gay lifestyle, regain stability. Parker refused, but temptation flickered. In therapy, Dr. Lena challenged, what message does compromise send to Timmy? The awakening came during a family outing. At a pride event in the city, Timmy waved a flag proudly. Strangers cheered them. Parker felt seen, not shamed. Mark held his hand openly. This is us. Betrayal resurfaced. Paul reappeared, apologizing publicly at church. I was wrong to hide. It divided the congregation, some leaving, others embracing change. Parker forgave, but scars remained. As appeal hearings dragged, evidence mounted against Sarah, her instability post-divorce. Witnesses praised Parker's parenting. Timmy testified again. Mark makes Dad happy. That's good. Post-hearing, a health scare hit. Parker collapsed from stress, hospitalized briefly. Timmy at his bedside. Don't leave me. Mark vowed. We're in this together. Recovery forced reflection. Parker wrote a letter to his parents, detailing his journey. Surprisingly, they responded, we're trying to understand. A visit followed, awkward but hopeful. His father admitted, I was scared for you. Highs and lows intertwined. Mark proposed informally, marry me someday? Parker smiled. Maybe, but reality intruded. A vandal smashed their window, note reading fags out. Police investigated, community rallying. Parker spoke at a town hall. Love isn't a threat. Applause mixed with boos, but he stood tall. Timmy's growth inspired. He organized a school event on acceptance, inviting Parker to speak. Pride swelled as Parker shared. Hiding hurts more than truth. As the appeal concluded, victory seemed near. But Sarah's final ploy, alleging Mark's influence, harmed Timmy. Investigations cleared them, but exhaustion set in. The appeal verdict came on a crisp autumn day. Custody affirmed, Sarah's claims dismissed. Cheers erupted in court, Timmy leaping into Parker's arms. Mark kissed him openly, tears flowing. Freedom tasted sweet, but scars lingered. Post-victory, adjustments began. They moved to a more accepting Queens neighborhood. Fresh start. Parker quit his job, starting a consulting firm with Mark's help. Financial strain eased as supporters boosted business. Family mending progressed. Parents visited more, bonding with Timmy. Awkward questions arose, but dialogue opened. Elena hosted holidays, bridging gaps. Timmy flourished, excelling in school, leading the Ally Club. But shadows persisted. Occasional taunts, online trolls. Parker taught resilience. Hate reflects them, not us. Their trio solidified. Mark moved in fully, routines forming, family dinners, game nights. Parker's love deepened, but doubts whispered. What if it fails? Mark reassured. We're building, not breaking. A new conflict emerged. Timmy's curiosity about his own feelings. At a group meeting, he confided crushes on boys. Parker supported, but fear gripped. Echoes of his youth. Dr. Lena guided. Let him lead. Societal pressures tested. A local bill threatened LGBT rights. Parker joined protests, Timmy by his side. Exposure brought media attention, interviews probing. How does being gay affect parenting? Parker replied. It makes me more empathetic. Betrayal struck via an old friend. Leaking private photos. Scandal erupted, but community defended. Parker sued for privacy, winning symbolically. Awakenings multiplied. Paul reconciled fully, co-hosting events. Sarah, humbled, sought co-parenting peace. A joint birthday for Timmy marked truce. Personal growth peaked. Parker authored a blog on his journey, inspiring others. Messages flooded. You saved my family. The price, sleepless nights, lost bonds, paled against impact. Mark's proposal came formally, ring in hand at their park spot. Yes, Parker whispered, Timmy cheering. But happiness fragile. A health check revealed Timmy's anxiety disorder, rooted in turmoil. Therapy intensified, Parker blaming himself. My choices hurt him. Mark countered. Your truth healed him. As winter neared, reflections deepened. Parker pondered morality. Was outing inevitable or avoidable? The damage, emotional, financial, weighed, but growth outweighed. Timmy's words sealed it. I'm proud of you, Dad. We're stronger. With the ring on his finger, Parker embraced a new chapter, but life demanded more trades. Wedding planning stirred old wounds. Parents attending reluctantly, some friends absent. Mark's family accepting filled gaps. Timmy, now 9, navigated his budding identity. A school crush led to teasing. Parker intervened, fostering talks on consent, respect. Love is love, became their mantra. Professional triumphs arrived. Parker's firm thrived, specializing in diversity consulting. He spoke at conferences, sharing scars as strengths. Vulnerability is power. Yet, mended ties frayed occasionally. A family reunion exploded when an uncle spewed homophobia. Parker walked out, Timmy in tow. We deserve better. Parents apologized later, growth evident. Societal shifts influenced. Supreme Court rulings bolstered rights, but backlash persisted. Parker volunteered for advocacy, balancing home life. Intimate moments with Mark grounded him. Quiet evenings, shared dreams. But arguments arose. Mark pushing for adoption, Parker hesitant. We're enough, Parker argued, fearing more scrutiny. A crisis tested. Timmy ran away briefly after a fight, found at the old community center. I miss when it was just us, he confessed. Parker realized change's toll. Family therapy recommenced, unpacking layers. Revelations continued. Sarah admitted jealousy over Parker's happiness. Co-parenting improved, Timmy benefiting. As years blurred, keeping to present, story arcs to now. Highs. Timmy's first pride parade, family united. Lows. Online harassment requiring blocks. Parker's awakening culminated in a book deal, Shadows to Light, a gay father's journey. Writing cathartic, exposing vulnerabilities. Mark's support unwavering, their love a beacon. Timmy, inspired, dreamed of helping others. In the end, choices defined them, sacrifices for authenticity. Parker pondered. Had he chosen differently, would peace prevail? But regret faded in their warmth. Was hiding one's true self ever the right choice? Or does it always lead to greater pain in the long run?